Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
There are two videos I have, both of I've thought about putting at the beginning of this video, but I only went with the one that you saw. The other video was a video of Nick Diaz's alleged crazy stalker slash victim that had Nick Diaz in jail recently. He was recently arrested. Now he's out on bond. His mugshot and court date, his mugshot's been released and his court date has been set after his domestic battery arrest. Bad news for Nick Diaz, as one of those charges is a felony, but you know, it is what it is. One thing I'll say though is, man, there's a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it. But first, let's talk about the beginning video. And also, we got to start off by saying cocaine is a hell of a drug. And we also know that bitches be crazy. But with all of that being said, we still got a lot to unpack in this video because since Nick Diaz's arrest, there's been mixed reports. There's been reports that there was, you know, from his alleged victim, that there was cocaine involved, and but there's also been reports from the media that once Nick Diaz was arrested, the police had trouble detaining him a little bit, where he was resisting arrest a little, and they even had to, like, even on the police report, when they detained him, like, it, you know, there was just reports of Nick Diaz not really being very cooperative with the arresting authorities, if you know what I'm saying. So with that being said, a lot of those signs pointed to, you know, possibly some sort of cocaine use. We've seen people amped up on Mountain Dew in the past. You know how it makes you act, you know what I'm saying? And it's similar to roid rage, right? But Nick Diaz is a guy, and that's what's crazy, right? Because when Nick Diaz was originally arrested, I was like, I don't see Nick Diaz. He's not even that type of guy, right? He's known for smoking weed. He's not known for getting violent and physical with people, or he's not a guy that would have roid rage out in the streets. He's against steroids. But then when you start to think, oh, cocaine, that might have been involved. But that's when you start to understand how this could have possibly happened to Nick Diaz. But the conflicting reports are from one of Nick Diaz's good friends, Mighty Matt. He's been coming out, and really a lot of reports are going off of what he's saying. You know, he's really defending Nick Diaz. He's one of Nick Diaz's good friends. And he's been, ever since the arrest, letting everyone know, yo, listen, this chick is crazy. She's been stalking Nick Diaz. And he's been adamant that what's happening to Nick Diaz is wrong. He's saying what's going on right now is completely wrong. It's fucked up. This chick is just, you know, fucking Nick Diaz over right now. But this is the thing about that. This is the thing. Now, I was conflicted on this originally, so that's why this was conflicted, because I'm looking at everything he's saying. I'm looking at the video he posted of her looking crazy. You know, I'm taking into consideration Nick Diaz isn't the guy that's known for fucking starting shit. And so I'm like, man, I don't want to believe Nick Diaz just went on some cocaine-fueled rage and broke this girl's hip, as there's also been reports she was injured. Even if her hip wasn't broken, as Front Row Brian originally reported, there was reports of a hip injury in one of the reports that came out. So we don't know the extent of the hip injury. It might not have been fully broken, but something that looked like sounds like something might have happened to the chick's hip. So you don't want to just jump out the window and believe Nick Diaz would have done something like this, because it's serious. So I'm looking at everything that, you know, his friend is saying, but I'm also keeping in mind this is Nick Diaz's friend. And when he started off the defense, he's like, yo, I got Nick Diaz's back no matter what. And that's the type of guy. And just a side note, so from some personal, not even like, I've never met Mighty Matt, but I've seen him around a lot of other, he's a pretty popular dude. He's and he's also a guy that really sticks up for fighters. You know, even a lot of the fighters that other people don't, like Felony Charles Bennett. Mighty Matt, I've recently seen him in some of Felony Charles Bennett's videos trying to help him out with his recent fights or help him get sponsorship deals. You know, and Felony Charles Bennett is a guy that, like Nick Diaz, you know, they're definitely not the most professional guys out there, you know, and so if it's good for them, you could imagine, to have someone on their side. But that's the thing here, you know, he also might co-sign some of the wrong stuff. And I wasn't even, you know, I'm taking Mighty Matt's word for it and stuff, and that's why I was kind of conflicted on this story. until today. I saw this tweet which says, this tweet to me is more, it's the decider, because Mighty Matt, you know, he might be biased. The chick clearly biased, but this is somebody that's unbiased, and if they were biased, it would be for Nick Diaz, and they're speaking out. Caesar Gracie BJJ said, Nick Diaz dropped the club scene. Alcohol and drugs equal death. We are here for you anytime, brother. Now that's why I posted the original video at the beginning instead of the video of the girl looking crazy, because yeah, she might be crazy, but if Nick Diaz, and he is, I mean, if you've kept up with Nick Diaz's Snapchat, always fucking partying, club scene, whether he's getting paid to be there or not, he's there a lot. Some people say Ronda Rousey is the one that got Nick Diaz, you know, drinking. I think that is actually true, but either way, that's just a little bit of a joke. This is like 7 years fucking later, 8 years later, and now Nick Diaz, if you keep up with his Snapchat, is always partying. And then also, if you go to his Instagram, he's got one highlight, and the one highlight is of what you saw in the beginning of this video, and that's all it is. It's just him like zooming this, you know, it looks like a bunch of kilos of coke, and he's just zooming in on it like, yo, look at that shit. I don't know if they were real. I don't know if that was just at some like event, whether it was art or just some history exhibit. I don't know what it was, but Nick Diaz seemed to be fascinated with what looked like a bunch of coke on his highlight of his Instagram. And then if you follow his story, it's a bunch of clubs, I mean, you know, and stuff like that. So whenever Caesar BJJ comes out and says, yo, we're here for you, brother, you got to get away from the club scene, that's what makes me say, okay, this is more serious. I can't just take Mighty Matt's word for it, because that's his boy, and I know he's got your back no matter what. Hell, my boy Felony Charles Bennett, it's hard to have his back, and Mighty Matt's one guy that's definitely got it. So that's, you know, Mighty Matt seems like a good dude as far as, you know, these fighters are concerned, one of their good friends, but also, you know, you can't co-sign bad behavior. So that's one thing. I gotta go with Caesar BJJ here. I think Nick Diaz is gonna have to turn this shit around, man. Probably if you do got people around you that are co-signing, or yes men that are saying, man, it's all good, you can control that shit, you just gotta stay away from that crazy bitch. There's a lot of crazy bitches out here, and even if it's not a crazy bitch that you've been messing with, there's a lot of chicks that might be out here trying to come up off of you. You're Nick Diaz. There's other people, I mean, fighters, crazy chicks, there's other people that might want to try and come up off you because they assume you have money, maybe even more money than you do have. Hey, that's Diaz, he fought Conor McGregor. And I'm just saying, it's real deal shit. I got a close brother to me too. People confuse us. And Nick Diaz in his own right is a big star. A lot, you know, Nate Diaz is a big star. Nick Diaz, they're both big names, so people might try and come up off you out here. And if you're inebriated, you're not on your P's and Q's, if you're drunk, if you're not drunk, if you're coked up, jacked up off Mountain Dew, whatever you are, that's putting you in a situation to throw your success away. Because if somebody, some tough guy just wants to challenge you, if some other fighter somebody wants a viral moment, if there's a crazy chick, it don't matter, bro. They're gonna try and come up off you, so you gotta be on your P's and Q's and ready to deal with those situations accordingly. And you know, if you are gonna have a good time and step out and you're getting paid for it or something, that's cool. But just don't overdo it. That's all I would say. Shit, it's cool to have a good time with your boys, with the Scrap Pack, with Nate, whatever you're gonna do, your Thug Dizzle. But you gotta leave the crazy bitches alone at this point. And I know that can be hard, bro. You know crazy bitches got the best pussy. That's one of the things. And not even that. Usually when a dude's dealing with a crazy chick, she's someone he's got a history with. And that does seem to be the case here. He might actually, you know, like this girl, or even if he don't want to marry her, and clearly that's not the fucking case. Even if he's just hitting it and he just got a history with her, well, you know how that gets. You think you got the situation under control. She's came at you before fucking crazy. You know she's crazy, but you think you can deal with the crazy. But the problem is with these crazy chicks, and I fucking know, you think you can handle them, but one time the crazy goes overboard. One time the crazy goes overboard. She's never called the cops before because it never gets that serious. She knows she threw the motherfucking knife at you. You know what I'm saying? She knows what she did. She boom, boom, boom. You didn't even hit her up. You know, you just defended yourself. Hey, please leave me alone. You know, I'm fucking, leave me the fuck alone. Why are you punching me? Why are you throwing knives? chill, back off. You know, it's crazy, and you guys are laughing and fucking in the next 30 minutes. Everyone knows how that goes, but this is the thing. When that crazy goes overboard and the police do get called, and now you might be, and see, you weren't even out at a party. You weren't even in public. You weren't even putting yourself in a bad position. You were just fucking on this crazy chick. But now the police show up, right? And you're jacked up on Mountain Dew, and you're like, man, I didn't do nothing fucking wrong, bro. She pulled out the knife. Why are you arresting me? I didn't do anything. Nick, stop resisting arrest. What do you mean resisting, bro? Quit fucking touching me. Nick, boom, boom. You know how the motherfucking police get. We need backup. We got a fucking Nick Diaz up here. He might be under the influence. Nick, stop resisting. You guys know how these motherfucking police do you when they're on one. And so with that being said, you can see how the situation might have unfolded. But I say all of that to say this, man. You can have your fun, you know, but in moderation. You don't want to overdo it. So I would just say, hopefully Nick Diaz, you know, free Nick Diaz if the worst does happen. But right now he's out on bond, of course, June 6th. Hopefully it goes all right with him if the situation, you know, and I'm just saying that as someone that wants to see Nick Diaz do good. And anybody, I mean, if I don't want to see anybody harming females, breaking no fucking females' hips. If it's that bad, if Nick Diaz was really on a cocaine fucking fueled rage and he broke this chick's hip and really put his hands on her, there's no excuse for that. How the fuck are you defending yourself and breaking somebody's hip, right? You know, you're defending yourself a little excessively, even if you are defending yourself. And if you got a history with the chick, it makes it look that much worse. You shouldn't have been around her if you knew she was crazy. That's what they're gonna tell you. You know, oh, she's did this in the past? Well, why the fuck were you over here then? Well, then why is this in your shit? I mean, it's not gonna be a good look, even if you felt like you were in the right. Now you got this resisting arrest bullshit they're reporting in the media, so it's not looking good for Nick Diaz. But if he can get this situation, if he's got a good lawyer and teams, and he gets off of this and they can prove this chick was crazy, and that's what I don't think that's gonna help him in court, bro. You know, his homie putting out videos of this chick. I don't know if that's going to help you in the court of public opinion. There's going to be some fans that see that and say, oh, it's just a crazy chick. Nick Diaz is cool, man. You know, it's a crazy chick, man. That's crazy. Nick Diaz wouldn't do that. But that's the court of public opinion. We're talking about the motherfucking court of law on June 6th. So maybe her team is like, look, he's even been defaming me, saying I'm crazy. Look, I got the fucking hospital record showing you my hips broke. You know, I don't know. So I don't even... It's helping as far as the fans are concerned, because I got to admit, I was on the fence. I was like, man, this bitch is crazy. Like, Mighty Matt's saying some good shit here. He's even releasing text messages he's getting from her crazy friends. Like, there's a lot of people saying this bitch is crazy. To Mighty Matt, hey, we all know she's crazy. She's did this in the past. Let me know if you need my testimony. If they do go to court, there's going to be a lot of people that are probably willing to testify on Nick Diaz's behalf. But that don't mean that there's probably a lot of people, just Nick Diaz fans, that come there and say that shit even if it's not true, right? So that I don't know if the judge is just gonna take fucking friend testimony. Yeah, like, officer, she's crazy, or judge, she's crazy. The judge is gonna say, oh, so everybody knew she was fucking crazy, right? And you guys are still just chilling with her, hanging out with her. She's fucking over people's lives, trying to do this to other people, and you guys are just all cool with her still? Like, you know, so I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Nick Diaz didn't do this, first of all, and if he did, man, hopefully, you know, justice is served if he actually did this to this chick. But we do know bitches be crazy, and she does seem like one, but there ain't no law that says you can beat up on crazy bitches. You know, if the police get called, hey, you see what happens. You can get your mugshot put out and the court date set. So hopefully this video did something. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to join the notification gang, make sure you hit subscribe and also hit the bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to help this channel reach its full potential, consider hitting the PayPal link in the description or going to patreon.com/fulltimemma and becoming a patron. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.